Talk Nation, salute, man. Salute to everybody, man. Happy New Year. Hope everybody is safe bringing in the new year. 2020 has definitely been special, and I don't necessarily mean special in a good way. Although I'm sure as much as calamity and bad things are happening this year, that people will not only forget, but unfortunately will have to commemorate in their life because, the changes that has corresponded in this year has pretty much changed everybody's life. You know what I'm saying? And some of these things we're actually going to take with us into the new year. But I would like to think that we are and we can approach a lot of these issues and things that we carry with us with not only a better understanding, but with a better respect. Because a lot of the things that happened in this year, some things could have been prevented, some things couldn't be prevented. So as we move forward, you know what I'm saying, as a nation, as a sports nation, just in general in our own individual lives, hopefully we can be smarter, make better choices and decisions because we were gifted a new year, ladies and gentlemen, to do things right, to look at things with a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? So again, I hope everybody is safe coming into the new year. And let's just talk about some of the sports coming into the new year. So first off, salute to the Philadelphia 76ers with the great win over the Orlando Magic, 116-92. Be honest with you, man, everybody looked pretty good. Joel Embiid looks phenomenal in the paint. He's more active in the paint, which I wanted to see coming into the new year, this new season, new coach, Doc Rivers. I wanted to see him be more active in the paint. He is throwing his body around. He is looking dominant and he is scoring. He is not just posting up, being a body, creating opportunities for other people, cutting possibly to the basket or kicking out for a three-pointer. No, he is posting up. He is making moves in the paint. He is scoring in the paint as well as coming down the floor, stopping and shooting that pull-up three, which he can still do and which he did in this game very efficiently. Tobias Harris looked good in this game. Good to see. I'm good to see and happy to see that Tobias is not only stepping up, but he is showing up because once Tobias Harris gets going offensively, he is dangerous. And you've seen not only glimpses, but you've seen flashes of what potentially could be once he is on the floor, as well as Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Steph Curry, and whomever else that we cycle in. But the Sixers 5 and the second unit coming off of the bench, as I predicted, they are working in tandem. With the first unit goes out there and executes and puts up on the board, it is up to the second unit to maintain defense and add to that. They showed that and did that very well in this game against the Orlando Magic. The score showed it. But throughout the game, the Sixers were on top. The Sixers looked dominant. Markelle Fultz just recently signed with Orlando, an extension for 3 years for $50 million, I believe. He looked pretty good, although he's primarily their offensive weapons, in conjunction with the center. But we limited him. You know what I'm saying? We limited their whole team. And we looked good doing it. As the not only intensity, but the level of competition, rises that the Sixers will face, we are truly going to see how special they could be. So they've taken out the Raptors, good basketball team. They've taken out the Orlando Magic, good basketball team. The Cavaliers lost. We should have never lost that game. Theoretically, right now, the Sixers should be undefeated starting the season. Now, that one loss to the Cavaliers, hopefully, and I believe that woke the guys up, realizing that, you know what, we need to win when we need to win. And if we happen to lose, it should be with a team that was suitable and capable of beating us. Cavaliers shouldn't have beat us. That was our fault. And I'm glad to see that we cleaned up on some of those mistakes. Still have some fine tuning to do, but defensively we also showed how we can look moving forward. So moving into the new season, the new year, Philadelphia 76ers coach Doc Rivers and company are looking pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait to see how things continue to unfold for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, let's go to the Philadelphia Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. 2020 has definitely been tough for the Eagles. It was a lot of high hopes coming into the season with the new acquisition of the Jalen Ragers, the Kez Watkins, the High Towers. The Eagles did add some new young talent to give Carson Wentz more targets on the field. But as the season progressed, offensively, the Philadelphia Eagles took a severe and dramatic slump. I hate to say it, but Carson Wentz lost this season. And also, Coach Doc Rivers, Howie Roseman, they also lost this season because they allowed too much time to go past, letting Carson Wentz basically play at the level that he played at. And the Eagles dug themselves a hole that they could not get themselves out of. I've said this a long time ago, weeks ago, before they brought Jalen Hurts in to take over. He should have been implemented early. He could have possibly, Jalen Hurts that is, he could have possibly saved the Eagles season. Right now, we could be prepping for the playoffs instead of going out there, letting it all hang out, show teams that this is how we should have looked. No, we could still be and should still be in the fight right now if Jalen Hurts would have came in earlier. That is the part that stings about the whole scenario and drama and soap opera of the Philadelphia Eagles. And Jalen Hurts coming into the game pretty much showed that. Now, moving forward, will he be back next season? Of course. Who would a starting quarterback be? Who knows? I've said this before. Carson Wentz is the quarterback that the Philadelphia Eagles have. But Jalen Hurts is the quarterback that the Philadelphia Eagles need. They need a mobile quarterback, somebody who's tough, gritty, can utilize his feet accurately when he's supposed to get out the pocket, as well as throw the football. Jalen Hurts has proved and showed both of these things. He can accurately throw the football, and when it's time to utilize his legs, he's not only fast and quick, but he's effective and he's fast on the field. So moving forward, will we see Jalen Hurts continue as he's ending this season, beginning the new one next season? That remains to be seen because the price tag of Carson Wentz is still pretty steep. So who could possibly take on that price tag? I had a little thought, and I'm just running this past you guys. Feel me? With the troubles and struggles that the New England Patriots are having with Cam Newton at the helm. Now, possibly, could you see Carson Wentz with the New England Patriots? Think about it. Now, the way the Patriots do their thing, offensive line being able to protect the quarterback, imagine Carson Wentz in a scenario like that when he could sit and be allowed to be a pocket quarterback. And only when absolutely necessary, he can get out there and utilize his legs by running the football. Think about it. Now, let's talk about our defense. Defensively, that has pretty much been a bright spot throughout this abysmal season. Will Jim Schwartz be back? Now, that may be up in the air, although he recently at a press conference said, and I'm really glad that he said this, because the question was asked about basically the acquisitions on defense and team personnel, period. And he so eloquently stated that I'm gonna leave that alone basically because that's Doug's and that's Howie's job. Beautiful. What that tells me is that he's trying to tell everybody, look, we may have had issues. People say that we need people on defense, offense. Guess what? I'm not the one to blame for bringing in what we brought in. Could we have done better? Yes, absolutely. Will things change next season as far as the coaching personnel? I believe it will. How dramatically? That depends on Jeffrey Lurie. Will we part ways with Coach Doug Peterson and possibly go a different direction? Will this game tell it all? Who knows? And to be honest with you, I honestly can't say for sure that I feel as though that he will be gone next season. Because if you go back and check out some of my earlier videos when the season first started, I've already said that this season is going to be trying not only for the Eagles, but other teams as well. Not every team is going to be able to adapt to the quote unquote the way the season is looking due to COVID-19. How it literally changed the face of not only the league but also sports. A lot of teams were going to struggle because you have protocols that are being implemented for the first time, and a lot of guys mentally it may be hard to warm up and to get used to a lot of these different protocols, circumstances, and situations that this quote unquote virus has put on franchises and players. Now, the injuries of the Philadelphia Eagles have always been pretty significant. We're a team that gets injured pretty easily. So now you're bringing in a virus into the situation. Now that makes things even more shaky. You know what I mean? So now players are literally walking around on eggshells because not only you have to worry about getting hurt on the field, but also you have to try to protect yourself from an invisible enemy. And that's impossible. Very hard. I mean, you can try, but as you have seen things slip up, a couple of guys have went down or have caught the virus as far as the team. Just to name a couple, Lane Johnson and Coach Doug Peterson himself came up with the virus. And let's talk about that when Doug Peterson was on Covation. Now, I explained to you guys before, Covation, that's pretty much COVID-19. And once you got to take that little sabbatical away from whatever you're doing, whether it's work, sports, whatever, you're going on a little vacation. So COVID, vacation, Covation. Bingo, your boy got it. Now, well, no, you know what I'm talking about. Remember who gave it to y'all. Now, moving forward, as I said, you guys, when Doug Peterson was on Covation, guess who stepped up? Deuce Staley. Deuce Staley, in my opinion, I spoke about this to one of my subs. Deuce Staley could possibly be the future as far as head coach in Philadelphia. And not only will that be a good look, but it will be, I'm telling you, not only the turning point, but the way that you look at and visualize as far as gameplay, how the Philadelphia Eagles play. Imagine if Deuce Staley was your coach. You are going to see a lot more aggressive run plays and a running game. But Deuce will still throw the football. You look at when Brian Westbrook was the running back. Like, the running back at those times were not only mobile, but they also caught the ball very well. I believe Deuce Staley will bring that back, adding more firepower as far as the offense, but also opening up and spreading things on the field by having that significant threat. And Miles Sanders, I believe, and you have Boston Scott. With these two guys' talent, they can most definitely do that. You know what I mean? And be very effective at doing that. So, moving forward, and if Jalen Hurts was under a coach like Deuce Staley, a quarterback who could also run, just imagine the run plays that Deuce Staley could devise for Jalen Hurts. It will be a very, very special synergy if these two were to lead the Philadelphia Eagles moving forward as far as quarterback and coach. Just think about it, you guys. Now let's talk about boxing 2020 going into 2021. Now coming into the year, we are going to have Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell. That is going to be the premier fight coming into the new year. Ryan Garcia looks phenomenal. Some people speculate because of the physical shape that he is in. He has never been more, as they say, cut. You know what I mean? Look like he's added some muscle. But to say to that, I would have to say this. You look at a lot of these guys, some of these guys, especially if they stay in the gym. And Ryan Garcia, although he is young, he is now with the Canelo crew. Now, some people may look at it from a viewpoint of, yeah, that's why they're talking about the young kid was possibly juicing because of Canelo testing dirty, you know what I'm saying, for possibly being on the juice at one point of his career. Now, if these things are true, I'm gonna honestly say, I don't know. But if you are quote unquote the best fighter in the world, as some people may view Canelo Alvarez, the things that he did going up from multiple weight classes, and not only going up in these weight classes, fight fans, but he has dominated. He has knocked out and taken down some pretty notable names. Now, some people say that he has also ducked some pretty notable names, latest being Benavidez. Now, a lot of people mark Benavidez as quote unquote the bad guy, getting into trouble, things of this nature. Look, a fighter is a fighter. What you do in your personal life, what happens to you, what you get into. I mean, everybody is not going to lead the same life. You can't hold everybody up in the same regard. But what you should judge people on, if you're going to judge these fighters, judge them based upon that, their fight game, not their life game. Because their life game, at the end of the day, when they step out of that ring, is their business. And they should be allowed to live life and make their mistakes like everybody else. But once you step into that ring, and we're talking about fighting, now let's talk about it. Now, Benavidez, with his size and his range and boxing ability, and he's aggressive, puts his punches together well for a long, lengthy guy, and he's young, he can give Canelo some problems. But to the advantage of Canelo Alvarez, you just seen what he did to Caleb Smith. Look, it doesn't matter if you're the bigger guy. It doesn't matter. Canelo is one thing people say, no having experience, but you see the experience and the intelligence of Canelo Alvarez when he fights. Each fight, you see him get better. You see him do something different. Now, he literally damn near broke his arm in that fight. That's how he decided to chop him down. So now you have a guy at that size and at that height with only one good arm. Whatever shot that he throws, his balance is now unsquared. So it's going to just be a matter of time before Canelo Alvarez chops him down and breaks him down and winds up finishing that opponent. Easy for Canelo. A lot of fighters wouldn't have been able to do what Canelo Alvarez did. And that's what makes Canelo great, because he does and exhibits things that people just don't do. You know what I'm saying? You don't see fighters do it. They may have some of the similar tools, but if you don't put everything together that you have, then you're not a complete fighter. As I just talked about, in another video, you can't just be offensively good and defensively bad. No, you have to be sound in both areas, excel in both areas. That will make you a solid fighter. And the more tools that you have, if you're able to switch from orthodox to southpaw, if you have these different tools, fireworks, ladies and gentlemen, if you have these different tools in your toolbox and you're able to utilize them, that's what makes you dangerous. And you have young talent, like I said, Jerron Ennis, who has these capabilities. The sky is the limit. Guys are not going to want to step up and fight you because it's going to be more risk opposed to reward, especially if you already trying to get into the door of the top divisions like Jerron Ennis is. A lot of these notable guys, they're not going to want to step up and fight the young guy. They're not going to want to do it because he is dangerous. He can not only box, but he can brawl, he can move around. His mobility is superb. He's able to switch. And as I said, fight fans, if you're able to switch and once you're effective in both stances, that is very, very scary for any fighter. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran, it doesn't matter if you're a B fighter. God help you if you're a C class or D class fighter. But let me tell you, that's how good Jerron Ennis is. That's one of the things that people like and praise Terrence Crawford about, because as special as he is, he's able to switch and he can be effective in the southpaw stance, also in the orthodox stance, which is his general stance. Now, also moving into 2021, Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Who is Manny Pacquiao going to face? With the victory of Errol Spence over Danny Garcia, Terrence Crawford over Kell Brook, guys are pretty much clamoring to fight Manny Pacquiao. Manny's already said in 2021 that's when he's looking to step back into the ring. But with the size and the weight that these fighters' names carry, you need the element of the gate to bring in that extra revenue. You have promoters like Bob Arum who don't want to be fiscally responsible for garnering all that money and getting all that money together and paying these guys because they don't want to go broke. He has already stipulated that he has lost tons of money promoting Terrence Crawford. And that's your fighter. That's what you're supposed to do. But moving on, deeper level than that, we all know his contract is about to be over. Bob Arum knows that one of his or his probably top guy in his stable is potentially going to leave and either do his own thing or he's going to sign with Al Heyman. And Al Heyman is going to have another, not only high quality, but championship as far as talent in his stable. Al Heyman, a lot of guys know as far as the boxing world, you know what I'm saying? You want to wind up most likely ending up with the PBC. That's how it was looking. So as we move into 21, the PBC looks like it's going to continue to dominate domestically here in the States. And Eddie Hearn with the Zone is trying to stay principled in the UK and that part of the pond. But boxing is going to be special moving into 2021. Tank Davis is looking to possibly come back to face none other than who? Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is successful in that Luke Campbell fight. If he's able to destroy Luke Campbell, as he says, and as I stipulated, that if Luke Campbell comes in the best shape of his life, he's going to give Ryan Garcia a tough fight. But if Ryan Garcia comes into this fight in the best shape of his life, he could possibly stop Luke Campbell in 5 rounds. That's what I predict. I predicted Ennis and Van Herden, the decision of that fight was going to happen, which way it's going to go in the first round. Look what happened. First round, accident on the headbutt, fight ends on no contest. So listen to your boy, man. I got my Swami hat on. Look, Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. In the first 5 rounds, something special is going to happen. If it doesn't and that fight goes the distance, I have Ryan Garcia winning by unanimous decision if he doesn't stop Luke Campbell in the later rounds. If not, before he knocks him out in the 5th or under 5. Now, Adrian Broner, the bad guy. I like AB. AB is looking to have a comeback, a dominant comeback in 2021. As always, AB looks good training, man. He looks sharp. Hand speed combinations look on point. He also let the cat out the bag a little bit by saying that he was going to try to start letting his hands go. I recently commented, shout out to Ellie Seckback, that if Adrian Broner taps into his potential for the first half of any fight, that fight is not going to go the distance. That's how special Adrian Broner could potentially be if he taps into his talent and stops being gun shy. I love how he also came out and said that, you know what, the Maidana fight was probably my best fight. But the underline in saying that is that was the fight that forever changed his life, because after that fight, that's the fight that he truly got hurt. He was down and he lost, and that puts a mark on a fighter. And although you can come back, but something like that, you take that with you. Like when Manny Pacquiao finally got knocked out by Marquez. Now Manny Pacquiao has bounced back greatly from that loss. Fought and took out some of the top talent, and not only in boxing but the welterweight division. Now, mentally, you have to be strong enough and sound in order to do these things. And I think at one point, Adrian Broner just wasn't there. But I do believe moving forward, I think mentally, he's in a good space. He's in a good mind space. And I think that he's willing and he's going to be able to stop letting that old baggage weigh him down. And as I said, tap into his potential and show the boxing world who is AB, aka anybody can get it. But Teofimo Lopez defeating Vasily High-Tech Lomachenko. Lomachenko feels as though people have been bribed. He was set up, yada, yada, yada. He was hurt. Look, this is boxing. This is the fight game. No fighter comes into that ring, as they say, 100%. You want to have something come fight day. Paper cut, a burn, a bruise. You want to have something. You're a fighter. You're a warrior. You're a gladiator. So for you to make complaints and complain like that, I don't like that. That's weak. So shout out to Teofimo Lopez. Great victory. You beat one of the boogeymen in boxing. Just shows you that anybody can be beat. And from what some trainers have said, Teofimo had some holes in his game that night. But guess what? He still went out there and he got it done. That shows you a level of greatness in a fighter. Despite coming into a fight not only with flaws, but as they say, with holes in your game. You dig what I'm saying? And I can still go out there and I can still not only get the victory, but defy all the odds and become champion. That's the American dream. That's boxing. You know what I mean? You gotta love it. So 2021 is going to be special. You have a lot of good fights, a lot of good fighters looking to pave a way, looking to make their mark. Some looking to make their mark before they exit the sport. 2021 is going to be a very interesting year in boxing as we get more knowledge and learn how to quote unquote overcome this virus, trying to get fans back into the stands where they can enjoy these outings. And let's just keep it real. So the money can be generated to bring the big dogs back out, because that's the fights that people want to see. But at the same time, you can't do it at the expense and risk of the health of anybody. You know what I'm saying? Fighters included. So we are still going to see how things progress as far as that. But 2020, I believe there's, hey, as they say, man, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a fight, there's a play. Hey, something will be worked out. And some of these big fights, they will find a way to get it to us. So fight fans, football fans, basketball fans. Ooh, look at that. and we still are going to keep it rolling. Look, as things end this season, 2020 that is, and we begin something new moving into 2021, let's see how things progress. Let's see. So, fight fans, moving forward, 2021, I hope it is your year. I hope it is our year. So, as I like to say, make sure that you stay blessed, stay humble, stay motivated. Have a happy new year, safe new year. Be blessed, be patient, because, hey man, we have to be patient out here just in general, because nothing is going to basically play out how we want it. 2020 pretty much showed us that. So let everybody, man, be safe, man. Guard up, mask up, protect yourself at all times, because it's a war going outside, baby. And ain't none of us are safe from it. So, from your boy, Real Talk Live, baby. Happy New Year. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace, salute, and I appreciate y'all. See you in 21.